I'm a bit early, but I'm ready to rock and roll here. Alright, welcome to the stream. It's Friday night. I don't usually stream on Friday. Holy cow. Part of the enhancing the audio is my 2-year-old grandson upstairs, apparently having a moment with his dad, who can be unreasonable at times. Holy cow, that's a good one. He woke up fussy. Let's just say that. But I'm not fussy, even though I've been banished to the basements. Yeah, I've got something going on with my eyes. Pink eye, I think. So I've been told, stay away from everybody. And so I am. So I'm going to go ahead and stream a little bit, if that's okay with you guys. Alright, I've got a lot of work to do. It's the DC-8. It's quite the setup process, and so if you come across this video on YouTube, which is where I archive everything, and you want to just fast forward about 40 minutes, I wouldn't blame you, because it does take a little bit of time to get things rocking and rolling. But yeah, in the meantime, I've got, as you can hear, the external power and air conditioning on, so we'll put the external power on the battery. We need to make sure we're on AC tie, which we are. Cabin compressors, they are all off. Pneumatic systems are off. Freon compressors are off. We're going to set the pressurization, which is already set. So I just did a flight here, so some of this stuff may already be set from when I was still flying, because I just kind of interrupted it once I saw air traffic come on, ATC come on. I'm like, hey, let's just restart and do this thing for real on the stream. Alright, let's do this now. We need to get our ILSs aligned. This is what takes the longest. And we're going to go down here to the pedestal and go to our position. And we want to enter this into position 0. I'm just looking at SimBrief here, by the way, in case you don't know how to do this. And we're at Kennedy International. We're flying down to Orlando, by the way, and forgive me for not giving you the details of the particular route, but I can show you that here in just a little bit, because we've got over 3 hours. I think it's 3 hours and 40 minutes for this flight, so I can show you all that stuff as we get going. North 4038.4 and west 73.46.7. Alright, we have to enter that in both sides here. North 4038.4. Whoops, I didn't get it. North 4. What's going on? Oh, position. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. North 4038.4. West 73.46.7. Alright, make sure they match, which they look like they do. Okay. And at this point now we can go up and excuse me there. Go ahead and set these things to align. And that's the part that takes really the longest here, is just that. But in the meantime, we'll set some things up here. We do have, I don't need to be on. I'm going to have that on standby. And I think I have my navigation turned on here as well. Nope, that needs to come on. And I'm going to start to communicate with tower here in just a second. Let's get our ATIS information uniform. And yeah, when I click on my other screen here, I lose my exterior noises. So once the engines are running, it'll be a little bit better. But 3019er, and we're looking at departing runways 22 right. All right, sorry about that. Frog in my throat there. JFK Tower is online, so we're going to go 1910.
Get the GPS, line up and wait, runway 22 right, Westjet 276.
See if we can get our clearance from Mr. Tower here. Kennedy Tower, good evening, Delta 1882 Heavy. We have information uniform. We're requesting IFR clearance down to Orlando.
Delta 1882 Kennedy Tower, good evening. You're cleared to the Orlando airport. It's going to be radar vectors to Kennedy 5 departure, radar vecters to white is going to be your first fix. So Kennedy 5 vectors to white, then as filed. Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 125.32. Squawk 1510.
Clear to Orlando, Kennedy 5, radar vectors white, then as filed. Will maintain 5,000, expect 360, departure 125.32, squawk 1510, Delta 1882 Heavy.
Delta 1882 Heavy, read back correct, push start your discretion, advise ready to taxi, expect 22 right.
We'll call you 22 right, 1882 Heavy. All right, there we go. There we go, there we go. So that
Heavy, New York Center 125.32. Enjoy the ride.
That's good. That matches up what we have already set up in SimBrief. And let's put this in before we forget. 1510.
Right, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 22 right, flying runway heading Westjet 276.
Whoopsie. 5,000. And then we'll take a look at our route here and see how much that affects us. So we had originally planned on Dixie as our initial point, but I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. Yeah, there's Dixie, and then there's white. So really, truly, we're going to just, instead of, I mean, it's almost exactly the same thing. We're going to be coming out here, intercepting the 222 from Kennedy, and hopping on down to white, and then we're pretty much down the coast. I tried to keep it along the coast just for entertainment value and just for interest. I mean, there's lots, as you can see, lots of ways to cut the corner if we wanted to, but where's the fun in that? So you can kind of see the basic idea. Right now, Orlando is landing to the south, so we'll just keep that in mind as we go. And let's get on with the rest of it here. So we do need to insert now our waypoints. And so here again, I'm going to be clicking on both screens here a little bit, so I apologize because the sound will come on and off, but all I'm doing is looking at the SimBrief information and the SimBrief. What you have to do, by the way, if you're new to this particular type of autopilot, is you actually have to plug in the coordinates, the latitude and longitude of the waypoints that you've decided. You have 9 that you can choose from, and so what I tend to do is I use like CIL. I use the VORs just as good waypoints, and then just plug in the latitude and longitude there, and it's extremely accurate. It's actually more accurate than VOR navigation, and you can put all kinds of different waypoints in there as long as you have the latitude and longitude. So for us, the first waypoint is Sea Isle, and so we'll switch this to waypoint. This is number 1. I think I have that already on remote, so they'll populate both at the same time. So Sea Isle, that's north 39057. What the?
Sunset 5650, runway 22 right.
74,
At Foxtrot.
48.0.
For your runway. Taxi via left on Bravo, right on Foxtrot.
Alright, just double checking those. 39.057,
Okay,
74, 48.0. Very good, very good. First one's in. So we'll just use radio navigation until we get out to White. And then from White, we'll probably, we'll launch we'll activate the INS, and there's one little spot where I do have to fly it, or I've chosen, I guess, to fly it with radio navigation, but just kind of more for a little bit of, to keep me awake, I guess, on a almost 4-hour flight. So Snow Hill is second. This is waypoint 2 north, 38.034. And no, there is no way to auto-populate this that I know how, anyway. West 75.278. There may well be, but I just haven't found one that's worked. 38.034, 75.278. So I just like to enter things in by hand. Plus, it takes about 30 minutes for this to align anyway, so you have to have something to work on in the meantime. Norfolk is the next waypoint. North 36.
Taxi to right by Bravo Echo cross 31 right, Delta 2021.
And 76. 120. That's Norfolk. 36535 76120. I cross-check this with what's on paper, and then I cross-check here backwards onto the paper. So that usually fixes all my errors, and I do have a tendency to make them every now and again, even though I'm getting a little bit better. Okay, then I need Wilmington, which is north. This is the fourth waypoint north, 34.21.1, and west 77.525. And then again 34.211. Yep, that's what I see on the screen. 77.525. That's what I see on the screen. So far, so good. Halfway point here. I think we need now Charleston. Yes, indeed. North 32.53.7, and west 80.023. All right, 32.53.7. That's what I see on the screen. 80.023. That's what I see on the screen. Number 6. This is going to be Savannah.
South 1169, New York Center 125.32. Enjoy the ride.
North 32.088. And west 81.119. Okay, 32.088. That's what I see. 81.119. Yep, that's what I see. And we're getting close here. 7. Waypoint 7. Uh-oh, hold on. I may have messed up here somehow. Might have to go back. That Savannah I just put in, that should have been actually already waypoint 7. Alright. Yep, here's where I do, sometimes I get ahead of myself despite my best efforts. So, let's see. Let me just go back here and check. 4 should be Dixon. 34. There's the mess up. I skipped ahead to Wilmington. Rats. Alright. Well, I'm glad I caught that now, because that'll make a big difference here. So north. So again, this is number 4.
Contact 5655, runway heading
34.34.1.
Okay, runway
And
heading
west 77. Oh,
to
damn
right,
it.
Foxtrot. Bondi
West
1950.
772. 7, 2. So it's as easy to that as that to edit, which is nice, and you can edit in flight actually. Once you get your initial alignment, you actually have the freedom to edit all these waypoints as needed. And in fact, if you had more than 9 waypoints that you had on your route, you can come back to the first view and you can count those as like waypoint 10, 11, 12, etc. That's how they sometimes had to do it. Alright, so the fifth one is Wilmington, and that's where I was a little bit ahead of myself. North 34.21.1, west 77.525, 34.21.1, 77.525. Okay. Alright. Sixth one is Charleston, north 32.53, 7, and west 80.023.
10 heavy, runway 22 right, taxi via right on Alpha.
32.53.7, yep, that's what I see. 80.023, yes, that's what I see. Alright, and then to Savannah, that's where I was at. Alright. North
right on Alpha,
32.088, and west 81.119.
5650 New York Center 125.32.
32.088, yep, that's on the screen. 81.119, indeed. All right, almost there, guys. Thanks for your patience if you're hanging out, watching paint dry with me. Ormond Beach, north 29.18.2, and west 81.068. Alright, 29.18.2, that's what I see. 81.068, that's what I see. And then the last waypoint you put in is always the destination airport. In this case, Orlando, 28258, and 81.18.5. Alright, 28.25.8. Yep, that's what I should see. 81.18.5. Alright, good deal. So,
This is 1451. We have Victor.
all of our waypoints are entered in, and that should, hopefully, we have come over here to see where we're at here. Yeah, see, we're already, this starts at 9, and it's already run through 4 parts of its checklist. So that didn't really cause us any time there, any big delays anyway. Okay, so flight plans entered, transponder is on standby, 1510, altimeter is, I don't know if I have set that just yet. Let me sneak back over here and check my flight plan.
Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 280, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 125.32, squawk 15.0.
3019 is what it should be here. I think I have it already there. Oh, maybe not.
Clear to the Jacksonville Airport.
3019. Yep, just a little above sea level here. I think 50 feet or something like that is all, or maybe not even that for Kennedy.
2 minutes after departure. Departure frequency on 125.32.
Alright, so there is there's all the flight planning. So pre-start stuff, altimeter set, transponder code entered. Master heater needs to come on here. Warm everything up. Windshield heat. Go to warm up. Oh, it's already at warm up. Emergency, sorry, cockpit lights. I don't know how much we'll need here. We'll turn a little bit on here.
China 981 Heavy, Kennedy Tower, good evening, runway 22
One click of everything ought to be good. It will start getting dark on our flight, but for now I think we're doing it pretty good. Fuel and payload, I think I already have this set. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, 80,000 pounds of fuel. Center of gravity of 33.2, almost 250,000 pounds. Full load here as far as passengers, so I have all that set. And let's just go over here and verify that we have 70,000 or 80,000, excuse me, and we do.
departure. Canter transition as filed.
I'm still not very good at managing the fuel back here, but I'm getting a little bit better.
Departure frequency 125.32.
Usually when
Squawk 15,
an engine
44.
flames out, it forces me to get better, which is what happened not too long ago. Alright, back to the overhead panel. Sorry, emergency arm lights are armed. We have no smoking on, seatbelts on, nav, anti-collision lights can come on. Yeah, a lot of this stuff got left on here. That's already on arm, which doesn't need to be on just yet. Radio, INS needs to be on radio. It is. Anti-skid is armed already from last time. We'll set the parking brake. Make sure the fuel is off. It is. Make sure the flaps are up. They are. And then I need to make sure I have all my takeoff data, which I have pre-calculated here to save a little bit of time. Oh, and my so I've done this departure already. That's why these things are already where they are. So V1 is, I'm just going to double check here. V1 is 115. Yep. V rotate 132-ish. Yep. V2 148 and flaps zero flaps 210. And then our max takeoff EPR needs to be 187 right there. All right, good deal. Good deal, good deal. And we're getting close. We're down only 2 more tests, and then we're completely aligned. And that'll be all we need. So I can go ahead and show you a little bit more the detail of what we're going to be doing here on the departure. So we are taking the Kennedy 5 departure, and that looks like this. Pretty simple when we're departing the direction we're departing. So we're heading out on 22 right. So we need to, initially we'll be 224, and then we'll be coming around here to intercept this. It says 219 roughly, to intercept this outbound 222 radial from Kennedy. So yeah, then it's climb, top altitude's 5,000 feet. Yeah, and so again, down here, white departures, expect vectors to that, and that's what we'll get. Let's just see what the second page says. Kind of just talks about runways 22 left and right, climb heading 224. Thence we are going to get radar vectors, and we'll maintain 5,000. If we lose comms, we can be up there to our filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. So, alright, let's set that 224. That's 224. This is going to have to be 222. So you almost depart just straight where you want to go here, which is really nice. And then Kennedy at 1590.
It looks like you're going to make hotel there. You can taxi via hotel, hold short of 50 right.
And let's see if that, yep, that comes alive, which is good. Alright, so we're good to go. Good to go. Let's pop over here real fast. Just make sure we're in good shape. Uh-oh, the Mrs. First Officer's home. Birthday present in hand, by the way. Even though I'm banished from, it's too big. Yep. How's it driving? Yeah.
Good evening, JFK Tower, JetBlue 2231 with you at gate 507. We have information uniform requesting clearance to Bermuda as filed.
JetBlue 2231, Kennedy Tower, good evening. You're cleared to the Bermuda Airport via the Kennedy 5 departure. Vector shift and is filed. Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 3501 3 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 125.32. Squawk 1520.
JetBlue 2231.
Okay, sorry for the delay there.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
Alright, hold on one second. JetBlue
I don't even know where we're
6116,
at.
cross
Oh,
runway
we're
22
getting
right
close
at
right
hotel,
there.
make the right on Bravo to
We're actually just waiting. Oh, let me show you the one more thing I'm going to have to do though while we wait for alignment. So there's, for the most part, once you get going, the INS just follows these waypoints. There's Sea Isle, there is Snow Hill. That's number one, that's number two. The third, there's a little leg right here, little leg that I entered in here, where, I mean, it wouldn't be a huge deal to go right from Snow Hill down here to Norfolk, but just to make sure that, you know, I can still do the radio navigation here. I am going to fly this leg here using an RNAV, and I'm going to tune in. I'm going to fire out of the outbound here from Snow Hill for, you know, 37 miles, and then I'm going to track the inbound here to Norfolk, another about the same, 37 miles. Just like I say, for no other reason other than just to stay proficient in this aircraft. And then after that, everything is pretty much just following the INS, and the INS does all the work for us all the way down here at Robbinsville, I think this is, no, Savannah. We'll probably start thinking about descent, and at that point, it'll start getting fun as we head into Orlando. All right, there we go, folks. That's what we were waiting for, and we can go ahead and click that to nav. We are now ready to rock and roll, ready to start the engines, ready to push back and get this party started. Hey, we're about 12 minutes to departure time, so that's not half bad. Okay, so fuel selectors need to all be on main. I'm gonna just make sure, because I was fiddling around with things a little bit here.
And if I have a parking stand, please, JetBlue 6116.
All this stuff
6116, it'll be a left turn on Foxtrot. That'll be the JetBlue ramp.
zeroed up.
Left turn on Foxtrot for the JetBlue ramp, JetBlue 6116.
Okay, I think that looks good. That looks good. Lost my fuel selectors main, yaw dampers off. Starter, now I can arm the starter. The galley power does need to come off just for a minute. Sorry about that, flight attendants. I'm going to do the number 3 engine first. So the fuel boost comes on, starter's engaged. RPM's kind of tough to see. I'll zoom in this first time. RPM's come up, and we want to wait till we're over 17%, which we are right now. At that point, you come down to number 3 and you toss in the fuel, and then you can see the N1 is coming alive. Things are, fuel flow is coming up, the oil pressure's come up, and that's the engine start procedure. Kind of just listen for it to stabilize,
You're cleared to the Bermuda Airport
and
via
then we
the
go
Kennedy 5
engine 4.
Radar vector ship, then as filed. Maintain 5,000. Expand
Again,
flight level
fuel
370.
boost will come on.
Departure frequency
Starter
125.32.
engaged. Taking a peek up here, waiting for 17% or greater. So yeah, about there, looks good.
Departure, radar vectors to ship. Climb maintain 5,000.
Turn the fuel on.
370 within 10 minutes.
And there we go, engine number 4
25.32.
coming alive.
Clock is 1505 from JetBlue 398.
398, read back correct. Push start your discretion advisory attack. We expect you to rate.
Teacher Ray, we'll give you a call. JetBlue 398. Thank you.
Everything's looking good right there. Oh, I do have the weather radar on already. Yeah, so this thing does load. It's about halfway like continual state. Like, I will shut things off all the way clear down to cold and dark, and the next time I load the plane, there'll be some things turned on that was turned off, and then on the flip side I'll leave some things turned on, and I'll come back, and it does have a cold and dark feature, by the way. You can start it cold and dark, but there'll be some things that I left on that are turned off, so it's always a little bit of a surprise every time you jump in this plane, but I still love it. It's a bear. It really is. It takes a long time to get started. It's heavy and sluggish, but once you get up in the air, flies really, really well. It hand flies really well. Humongous wing, tails, very stable. And it's just, you just have to understand it just takes a while to do anything. It takes a while to get going on the taxi. It takes a little while to get going on the takeoff roll. Obviously takes a while to start bringing it down. As long as you're patient, this is the plane for you. If you're impatient and wanting a fast flight, you need to hop in something else, because this is just not that plane. There we go. Engine number 4 is ready, and I'm going to just push basically straight back. I am going to turn off the doggone air conditioner here in a minute too. Looking at my runway, or excuse me, my taxi chart to see where the heck I am. I think I know where I'm at.
Tower Delta 2371
Okay.
is ready for taxi.
What's next? What's next? Starter. Can come off.
Standby.
I don't think we need any heat right now, per se. We could turn probe heat. We could turn that on here. We'll turn the probe heat on. We'll just leave the windshield heat on warm up. It's actually a pretty nice day out here on the East Coast. And then, yeah, that
Bravo Echo
darn
cross 31
loud.
right for runway 22 right, Delta 2371.
Much better. Much better. Over to the engineers panel. We'll go now to battery. We need to do gen parallel. Get all those generators working on the same. Gallery power coming on. Okay, time to get the compression, get the air going here. Cabin compressor, the pneumatics, and the Freon. Now that we turn the ground air conditioning unit off, we need all that stuff. And don't need the boost on anymore. We do need to keep an eye on these numbers. Can't let them get much below 6,000, or the engines get a little cranky. All right. I think we're ready to push back. I have no idea if anyone's around us. I think just to be polite, I'm going to do this. Alright, this is a static aircraft, so we're okay there. Oh, I have landing lights on. Holy cow. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff on here that I don't need the taxis on just yet. I definitely don't need the retracts on. Sorry about that, anyone that was there handling ground equipment. Parking brakes off. I don't have GSX configured to this plane. Well, I do, but for some reason it's not recognizing where I'm at. Sometimes it's depending on where you spawn, what gate you spawn. It doesn't like it. Hello, Al South. I'm coming your way, Al South MIA. I'm coming down to Orlando. I'm up in Kennedy right now, up in New York, but we'll be heading your way. Party at Bermuda for JetBlue, man. That does sound nice. They're avoiding the F&O madness. and I don't blame them. Yeah, that would be great, man. I've never been there. I'd love to go someday.
Departure to ship.
I don't have anybody really that would love the Disneyland experience, but I think there's a lot of stuff in Orlando that my wife and I would enjoy now that we are sort of empty nesters. Well, you know how much of an empty nester I am. I'm an empty nester except for I have one of my kids and his grandson living with me. All right, but enough about me. Let's taxi.
This is Alaska 1451, ready to taxi with information Victor. We are at 737-9. Alaska 1451, runway 228, taxi via left on Bravo, Echo, cross 21 right. Taxi to 22 right via left on Bravo, Echo, cross runway 31 right, 1451. Taxi tower Emirates, straight Central on the ILS 22 left. Emirates 2712, Kennedy Tower, good evening, wind 21013, runway 22 left, clear to land. Runway 22 left, clear to land, Emirates 2712.
Delta 1882 Heavy, ready for taxi information, Victor.
Delta 1882 Heavy, just check your transponder code, it should be 1510.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully it's 1510 now, 1882. Didn't have it turned on.
It certainly is. Runway 22 right, taxi via left on Bravo, Echo, cross 31 right.
Bravo Echo will cross 31 right, Delta 1882 Heavy. All right. Yeah, I turned it on the V-Pilot. I went mode Charlie there, but I forgot. I've got to do it right here also. So that's completely my fault. That's why we make a good team, me and air traffic. All right, before taxi, clearance is obtained. Flaps 15 are set. Controls checked.
Departure frequency is 125.32. Squawk 1501.
Altitude set, heading set. Transponder mode Charlie, weather radar is on normal. Taxi lights can come on. And windshield heat as required. Continuous ignition is armed. Okay, we're ready. Turn the brake off.
Redwood 55, read back correct, push start your discretion, expect runway 22 right.
Here we go. Al South, you're here at just the right time. You missed the boring flight planning and the ILS or INS alignment process, and you're here to watch me attempt to take off in this giant hunk of metal. Always an adventure. But that's a 43-minute turnaround for me, just kind of firing up the stream and going through the entire startup procedure is not too bad. It used to take me 43 minutes just to get the flight plan in by itself, and then it was another 40 minutes to get the engine started, and so I'm making some baby steps here. Alright, so we need to go. We're going to head out, see where that guy is at our 12 o'clock. We want to follow him. I'm pretty sure he's on Bravo right now. It is, you know, when you and I talked about that one time about some nights you feel like putting together that 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Some nights you want to plug and play, man. You want to just hop in the left-hand seat, turn the key, and start flying. For me, tonight is about slowing down, having patience. It's Friday. I'm unwinding, and yeah, I didn't mind.
Delta 1862,
so we'll just
1882 heavy, excuse me. When you exit the ramp, just give way to an Alaska 737.
Okay, we'll give way to traffic, 1882 heavy. So where the heck are you, buddy? There he is. Alright, so we'll just kind of come up here and let that traffic pass. The only bad part, Al, is with all that pre-planning is if you mess something up and you get going and you realize that something's not right, it can be a little frustrating. But that's part of the challenge and part of why it's, I think, can be so satisfying when you actually manage to pull it off. Start to finish,
Kennedy Tower, good evening. American
all the way
4291 with you.
to
Short
your
final,
departure
runway 22 left.
or to your arrival airport.
4291 Kennedy Tower.
So I got a guy coming at me here.
Runway 22 left, clear to land.
I should be able
Copy,
to.
the wind's clear to land.
I've got a
runway
hop,
22
skip,
left
and a
for
jump
American
right over here.
4291.
This is Alpha, and I need to go over to Bravo. So I'm going to just, I'm going the wrong way just for a minute here.
Emirates 2721, what term, or 2712, excuse me, what terminal do you park?
Hopefully we're not going to have a showdown. Alright, now I'll turn and start heading the correct way on Bravo.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be off of Quebec up there. That's going to be shelter. You want to go up there?
Yeah, you're right, Al South, and that's probably the main downfall to me and this channel is that
Emirates 2712.
I just do a different plane
Hotel, left turn
basically every night.
on Alpha,
So I don't give
November,
myself
Quebec.
enough time to become proficient and to build muscle memory. But that's okay. It's about having fun. Not, I've known for a long time that I'm not going to be the most realistic stream on Twitch. So once the pressure's off of that, you just get to have fun. Let's take a look. Cinematic.
Alpha 2371, fly runway heading 21014, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, copy the winds, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 2371.
Kind of cool. Not too bad. I wonder what my dogs are barking at. Must be a home invasion. I think the rest of the crew is getting ready to head out to birthday dinner. Again, if you tuned in late, it's my wife's birthday. And no, I'm not trying to be husband of the year by being down here on the computer, but I've been banished because of a bout of pink eye. And apparently nobody else wants it. They don't want me to share. So essentially for the last 2 nights, I have been told to go downstairs and get away from everybody. We were cleared to cross 3-1 right, so we are crossing. Nobody's coming. We're just making sure of that. So they're actually getting ready here in a little bit. Yeah, thanks, Al. I'll let her know. They're actually going out to eat dinner, and they're just going to bring me something home because if I'm not in a dark basement, I'm the poster child right now for computer gamer nerds. But if I'm not down in a dark basement, this just kills my eyes. It's just unbelievable. I have not ever had. I've had pink eye, but I've never had it in both eyes, which is what I have right now, and it's just like. It's the worst, man, I'm telling you.
Tower, Redwood 55, ready, taxi 22 right.
Alright, so we're in sequence here.
Redwood 55, runway 22 right, taxi via left on
And
Bravo.
we're going to have to hang
Echo,
tight here because we have at least 2 departures ahead of us, but that's okay. That'll give us a second to kind of get things ready. Alright, there we go. Oh, brakes. My brakes have failed. Holy cow, my brakes have failed. Oh boy, that was bad. What in the world?
Delta 2371, contact New York Center 125.32.
Oh my gosh.
Open to center. Thanks for the work.
I was getting no braking power at all. Uh-oh.
Alaska 1451, fly runway heading. Runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading 22 right, clear for takeoff, Alaska 1451. Thank you.
Delta 1882 heavy, runway 22 right, line of weight.
5.22 right, 1882 heavy. All right, we're just going to test our brakes here just to see if maybe it was a little bit of a... I do have a little bit of a glitch that happens sometimes when I click on the other window. Oh yeah, okay, I've got braking power. Yeah, it's weird. It'll
Kennedy Tower, American 4291.
it will not recognize my rudder quadrant, and so like I'll lose all elevator control and rudder control and braking. And it doesn't happen all the time, so I haven't been able to troubleshoot it. But all right, anyway, back to business here. Thank goodness for the emergency brake. I kind of went old school, just pulled on the emergency brake. Alright, before takeoff, I need to get my landing lights on. Retracts can come on. Let's get lined up.
New York Center on 125.32. Thank you and a good day.
American 4291, cross runway 22 right at Juliet, straight ahead on Alpha to the ramp.
Cross to your right at Juliet, straight to the ramp on
Come
Alpha
on,
for
girl.
American 4291.
Not quite lined up yet. Alright, that's pretty close. Let's see. Retracts, takeoff lights on, altimeter checked. Yep, 3019er. Altitude 5,000.
Oh, I wish you would have told me that.
Heading checked. Check. We are ready to go.
And Tower, this is Delta 2371 back with you. It looks like center's offline. Just wanted to let you know I'm going to left turn here in the climb, and I'll be departing to the northwest.
Alright, yeah, it looks like he did go offline, so you can switch to Unicom. Have it going.
Darn it.
Over to column, and I'll stay out of your way. Delta 2321.
Delta 1182 heavy, fly runway heading, wind 21014, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 22 right. We'll fly runway heading 1882 heavy. Alright, well this is going to be an ATC free first leg.
Kennedy Tower, Redwood 55.
Stabilized.
Departure at Charlie, please.
We need 187 for EPR.
Can hold short at 22 right at Charlie.
Hold 22 right at Charlie. Charlie, Redwood 55.
Airspeed is alive. There is V1. Rotation speed.
Bravo 55, runway 22 right, line up and wait, caution brake turbulence.
22 right, line up and wait, Redwood 55.
Tap the brakes. Gear up. Already through flap speed, so we'll bring the flaps up.
Delta 1882 heavy, it looks like New York Center is offline now, so you can switch to Unicom 1 to 2.8, enjoy the ride.
Or to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. We'll see you next time. 1882 heavy. Alright, don't want to go past 250, so pull the power back just slightly. We're already a little bit past that. Alright, since I've got a lot to manage here, I'm going to turn on my autopilot early. Go heading select. And I'm going to just kind of get my climb to about 3,000 feet per minute. I'm a little quick right there, as you can see. But if I climb out about 3,000, that's going to help with that speed. Go to Unicom, that's a bummer, but so be it. And I would have been cleared had there been someone departure as well as center. I'm going to actually go 10,000. So at 10,000, I'm not going to have any problem with that. Actually, right now, even did manage the speed very well on that one there, fellas. But what you're supposed to do is maintain 250 on the climb, and then when you get near 10,000, you level off slightly, and you get your airspeed up to 300, and then that's what you use to climb out. So we're through 5,000. We would have been cleared anyway. Watching my VOR, I do want to tune that in. Come just a little bit more to the left. Track that outbound. Spin this up to 36,000. Okay, so we're set there. There we go. There comes our VOR. So we'll flip that over to VOR mode. And I do want to take a look outside here and just... Hey, guess what I forgot to do? No, you saw the gear come up. Gear is up. Why does it show down? Oh, that's weird. Landing gear is up. I wonder if I had some kind of an error there. Or if that's just a... I just think that's actually it's just a glitch. I wouldn't be making this much power with my gear still down. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Still showing my gear. Up, down, it doesn't matter. Weird. Gear, down. I'm trying now with the G key. Well, it's still showing green lights here though, guys. Handle, that's not... That's a new one. It is noisy enough to be, to still be down. Just do it real quick. Alright, so I'm showing when that's down, those red lights are extinguished. That's the landing gear unsafe. So I'm thinking yeah, we've got a problem here, boys and girls. We're going to have to come back around. And maybe I'm not going to be doing much of a journey down to Orlando. Darn it. Al South. So I'm going to level off. I'm going to definitely pull the power back then because I don't want to damage my gear. And I don't honestly know. I think I'm just going to make left traffic and contact the tower and let him know what's going on. Oh, Al South does have a home remedy with a certain time. I do have some eye drops from my doctor too, but I would appreciate anything else that you know of. So we're level at almost 14,000. Kennedy traffic, Delta 1882. We've got a gear malfunction. We're going to make left traffic back to the airfield, Kennedy. And 1882, we're at 14,000. Alright, so, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk to the tower until I get a little closer or not, but we'll make sure we swing well clear. I will just try to pick him up. 1910, let's just see. There's an outside chance I'm still close enough to talk to him. Kennedy Tower, Delta 1882 Heavy.
Delta 1882 Heavy.
Yes, sir, we had a gear malfunction. We're going to need to return to the airfield.
Delta 1882 Heavy, roger. You can proceed your discretion. I might be able to help you too much until you get back onto the final, but make it runway 22 left, please, if able.
Okay, we'll be left downwind for 22 left, and we'll contact you when we get a little bit closer on final, 1882.
Right.
All right, well, 22 left. So, okay, time to work our emergency procedure here, which is just fine. 22 left. 110 decimal niner.
Find some weight on 22 right, Chip 398.
We're going to tune that in. So what happened out south is this. I went outside to give you guys a view of the cinema beauty that is the Aerostop, and I noticed my gear's still down, and then I came over here and I've got a gear warning light on, and so yeah, I've got a gear issue, and so I'm trying to figure out how to get myself back in. We're going to go 22 left. I think we just need to go, actually, let's go to Deer Park. 117 decimal. That's 15 miles away. That'll give us a good spot to start our base turn. So 17.7. Yeah, must be. Must be. I didn't see any issues, but I guess I could go over there and look. All right, one thing at a time here. 1770. Let's tune that in, and let's make sure that we're heading towards Deer Park, which we kind of basically already are. Okay, so we're gonna tune that VOR in. We're gonna get ourselves down here. We are descending slightly, trying to keep our speed manageable here. If we are our initial approach fix, here's what I'm looking at, guys. 3,000 at Rosley. That's Rosley. We're heading to Deer Park right now, then we'll turn. So I think if I was around 5,000 at Deer Park, I'd be okay. Yep, aviate, navigate, communicate. Oh boy, now what's happened here? Lost my, somehow I lost, oh jeez. Okay, come on. Plane, let's get headed back the right direction.
Okay, Tower, just confirm we are going to 22 right and not 13 left.
So we're shooting for 5,000 at Deer Park. I did make a little bit of a left-hand turn that I wasn't expecting. I tried to tune in Deer Park right there. This is where I would like to be going. Here is Deer Park.
2231. Do you see the Qantas 747 off to your left?
All right. So in the meantime, let's start descending a little bit more rapidly. We're only descending at about 500 right now.
Give way to the Qantas and Charlie, you're behind him.
Roger, we'll cross 13 left. And we'll
so hydraulics. Let's come over here and let's see if there's any warning lights on that I'm not seeing. I did turn. I thought. That might be. That might be the problem here. Let's.
Bermuda is popular tonight. You're cleared to the Bermuda Airport via the Kennedy 5 departure.
Okay, I'm gonna try this again here.
Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 330. Once expected departure. Departure frequency is Unicom for now.
See if those will go up now.
Okay, 1525, and we'll maintain 5,000 until cleared.
Hydraulic pressure is low. Yep, there's that warning light is on. Yep. So, man, I wonder what I've done. That's really interesting. What have I missed over here, guys?
Yeah, 1525, American 655.
American 655, read back, correct, push start, your discretion, advise ready to taxi.
Okay, we'll give you a call. Thank you, American 655.
398, New York Center's offline, frequency change approved, enjoy the ride.
Unicom, 398, good night.
So we're seeing low pressure. I wonder why. Hydraulic pumps.
783 with you. Information Victor, I'm forward over here to Orleans. Thank you.
Let's That's really interesting. So, yeah, that's all looking okay.
JetBlue 1183 Kennedy Tower clear to the Orlando Airport via the Kennedy 5 departure.
I'll have to do some looking when I get on the ground here, but I still have the same problem. I've got a low hydraulic light on, and there's nothing up here that controls the hydraulics. I have to dig into the documentation here. This is not an ideal situation, obviously, for the flight, but it is going to be good for me as far as learning how to handle an emergency situation. All right, down through 10,000. I'm a little quick here. My fear, and I'm going to just put these down. My fear is that those things won't hold when I land. I don't know. Yeah, I got 3 greens when the gear is down, but I don't have it. Yeah, that's very interesting. Turn those on just in case I need it. This is the manifold pressure. This is all for climate control and altitude pressurization, I should say. Well, yeah, I'm just going to have to This is the issue. I don't have. There we go. Start the only an emergency. Well, this would be an emergency, so at least I feel better that that's those things are going to be down and pressurized, so they're not going to collapse on me here. Getting down, I'm not quite where I want to be just yet, but I'd like to be 5,000. Kennedy area traffic, Delta 1882 heavy. We're on the return to JFK, descending through 7,500. We're on the left downwind runway 22 left, Kennedy. Well, there we are. I don't know, Al South. Right now, this is more than I really know how to handle. I'll be honest with you. So I do have pressure started here. Rudder, hydraulic, low pressure. I don't see anything though that indicates for the gears. But it did take my
JetBlue 2231. Yeah,
it did take my low hydraulic pressure light off, but it's not enough pressure to raise the gears. So, yep, this is the right call.
It might just be a different scenery because that's where the end of the runway is for me up where Qantas is.
Let's start to arrest our descent here just a little bit. I'm sure there is some kind of a hydraulic reset, like you say, but I'm going to have to dig into the documentation when I get on the ground. So, yeah. Never a dull moment in the Greasy 8.
Left on Bravo, Echo, cross 31 right.
Left on Bravo, Echo, cross 31 right, American 655.
Alright, let's level out here. We're going to get our speed kind of down and under control a little bit here. Actually, I think I'm going to keep it going to 3,000. That's what my initial approach fix needs to be, and it's only 13 miles away. So there we are. We are Deer Park, I think, right now. Yes, indeed. So let's make our turn here. Left base. Kennedy traffic, Delta 1882 heavy on the left base, runway 22 left, Kennedy.
JF.
You know what? I'm canceling on or communicating on tower. Dang it. That was stupid. Tower doesn't need to hear that. Kennedy traffic, Delta 1882 heavy on the left base, 22 left, descending through 4000 Kennedy. Alright, I'm ready to tune in 22 left. Again, I kind of need to check that frequency. 110.9. No problem, Al South. I'm just heading on the base leg for 22 left, and just talked about okay, here's going to be a little bit of an issue. We'll put a notch of flaps in, boy. When it gets this low, it pitches up, and with the gear down, airspeed is going to be a huge issue. I did hear one other aircraft in the pattern. Angle here, we're I think maybe a little far away, 25 miles away from the airfield, so I'm going to try to angle this a little bit, see if I can round the corner slightly to help with the intercept. Kennedy traffic, Delta 1882 heavy. We're vectoring 280 at 3000 to intercept the 22 left localizer, Kennedy. Tell you what, there's where voice Unicom really is nice. I wouldn't have been able to type all that stuff, but you can see how much that thing pitches when the speed gets down, especially with fully fueled, super heavy. Another notch of flaps just to try to bring the nose down. Wait for the localizer to come in, and might just go 270. Uh-oh. Sim freeze. Maybe it'll crash. P3D will crash and put me out of my misery. Low flap speed right now. We'll be able to go back over to tower. Below the glide slope, so that all looks good. With any luck, we'll be able to put it back down safely and figure out what the heck is going on. Well, yeah, I was supposed to be on Unicom, Al South, and I didn't flip over, so I was actually making my CTAF calls on the tower frequency, so which it's not what you're supposed to do, obviously, but yeah. All right, so that's the guy behind me, and so anyway, yeah, I'm glad I figured that out. Okay, there we go. There comes the localizer. I just need to flip that around. I'm going to go through it here as I always do. Kennedy traffic, Delta 1882 heavy. We're established on the 22 left localizer, Kennedy. So I'm going to get stabilized and I'm going to go back to the tower. So yeah, I was making a bunch of calls on tower, which, okay, that was okay for the guys that were on tower frequency to kind of know what was going on, but there was a guy behind me the whole time that I wasn't talking to, so that was bad. My speed's got back up quite a bit here. I don't need that. Come back here and join the localizer, and we're going to go to tower now. 19. Maybe. Oh, that's the nav. Dang it. What did I just do? 10 decimal line. Alright. A little flustered. I think you can get away from you in a hurry. If that messed up my...
You're heavy county tower, yep.
Alright, so we'll swing back around, pick up the localizer. Kennedy Tower, Delta 1882 Heavy, we're established on the 22 left localizer.
Delta 1882 Heavy, Kennedy Tower, welcome back. You're number 2, following up FedEx 777, caution by turbulence. 21011, runway 22 left, clear to land.
22 left, clear to land, we see the traffic, and sorry we're making our TCAF calls on your frequency.
That's alright.
CTAF, not TCAF. CTAF.
JetBlue 1183.
Alright, here comes the glide slope. At least we do get to practice an ILS approach. And let's see, hopefully that will that'll grab it. Yep, there we go. Nose is starting to come down.
655, appreciate patience, runway 22 right, line up and wait. That JetBlue is going to depart from Foxtrot.
Okay, we need
4 other guys
2 notch of flaps.
in front of you, recent history, and I need to get some space going that way.
Okay, line up, wait, did you right then? We see the traffic at Foxtrot, American 655.
Speed wants to creep up here. Unfortunately, there's 3,000. We'll leave that in. That's the go around. We'll make a left-hand climbing turn to 3,000 on the outbound 190 VOR if we need to. Hopefully we won't. Alright, gears down, landing lights on. We have the altimeter set.
Airport 8 is Whiskey, current altimeter 30.
And we're going to go gear
18.
or flaps 35 in the hopes that our VREF speed is about 135, and we're a little bit above that right now at 200. But again, we're fully fueled, and that's part of it. We're going to go full flaps here, just see if we can get
1431 heavy, welcome to Kennedy, exit right when able.
speed
Hold short
down.
of 22 right, whether it's hotel or Juliet, either is fine. And where you parking, Sierra or Charlie Cargo?
Here we come.
FedEx 1431 heavy, just which cargo are you parking at?
We're on the glide slope, so that's good.
Taxiway Charlie.
Yeah. It's a little steep. I don't know. That glide slope has been kind of interesting.
You can make a right turn on
Alright, we're going to have to come off of,
and then hold short of runway.
oh boy.
Get you right.
That was a big balloon.
Roger, right turn Zulu, and hold short to Charlie to 614.
Jet 1183, departures offline for exchange crew, to other ride.
1,000 feet per minute is a little bit steep, a little bit aggressive here.
Runway heading, 21011, runway 2 right, set to take off.
Yeah, runway heading, clear to go. Here we go, American 655.
And FedEx 936 heavy, I think I stepped on you there. You're number 2.
Too low flaps.
On a DC-8.
It's not liking me tonight.
Caution by turbulence, 21011, runway 22 left.
Yeah, kind of a pitched up attitude here.
Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
We've got flaps full, man.
Too low. Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
And, oops, a little bounce. Hopefully not a tail strike. Alright, nose is down. Reversers. Makes me wonder a little bit. Now that I hit the brakes, I see the low, yeah, I'm going through, guys. I'm going through. Have no brakes. Boom. Yeah, darn it. Alright, well, gotta make the call of shame. And Tower 1882, we're off the end of the runway. We had no brakes also. We're going to go ahead and just disconnect. Appreciate the service. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one. Sorry about that.
So so interesting, the brake issue, since we're disconnected, let's just do this real quick. The brake issue that I saw when I was taxiing out was not my screen glitch issue. It was a hydraulic pressure issue. The same hydraulic pressure issue that made it to where I couldn't raise the landing gear. So that's very interesting. Alright, well, let's take a look. We'll see how bad it was, and we'll chalk this one up to learning. Full reverse thrust. I guess I could have thrown the parking brake on there. I'm not sure what else I could have really done though. They have that arresting cement stuff there that might have stopped us. We're going pretty good, but that's the problem with landing fully fueled. Perhaps in real life they would have had me circle a few times to burn off some of that fuel and be a little bit lighter. I don't know. So I'm just trying to get the best view here. I don't know what it's going to be. We're going to go here. And I was a little quick. Again, I had a hard time getting the speed right. Boy, look at that pitch. This is a tail strike waiting to happen. Oh gosh, SNL skit. Can't wait to watch, man. Can't wait to watch. All right, let's see how bad it was. Not too bad there. Flare. There was a little bit of that hop. Didn't tail strike. Nose wheel's not down yet. What in the world? Maybe I did tail strike. Maybe that's the problem. No, I'm not. Why is the weirdest thing? Alright. I'm chalking this completely up to, I mean, part of this was me, but there's no way you're riding the wheelie all the way down like that. You think with all the fuel it'd keep the nose up even with full reverse? Man, that's crazy. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to look and see. I guess so. I have two problems to search for here, and one of them is, well, they're both related to the fuel pressure deal, because I think the fuel pressure was also the cause of why my brakes weren't working, and then why the gear wasn't coming up. So, well, All right, so you remember Al South when I said it's fun to put together a 1,000-piece puzzle, but if it doesn't work, it can be kind of frustrating. Yeah, this one is kind of frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to you, but sometimes these things happen. What I should have done also, I think, is completely exited out of P3D and came back in instead of just resetting my flight. I had a lot of stuff turned on here that I wouldn't normally have turned on, but that's okay. These are good learning moments, and it's an emergency that I should be able to handle if it happens again, and or if I pay better attention to that light, you just taxi back to the gate and you don't even worry about trying to take off. So, but anyway, that's so kind of a weird way to end the flight, but in the stream. But that's where I am going to end it. So I appreciate you coming by, Al South. What I'll probably do is I'll probably respawn somewhere and just fly down in that Friday night madness. But first things first, though, I do want to figure out what the heck was going on with my hydraulics. So that's I'm off the rest of this week, and I will be back Monday. I don't know where quite yet, but I want to be doing something Monday. I had planned on being with Downwind Sim, or excuse me, Slant Alpha, but he is actually doing a different route than was originally planned. So I'm gonna just figure something out to fly, and then on Wednesday I will be actually in Switzerland, and I'm gonna be in the King Air. We're gonna fly from Sonnen in the mountains of Switzerland to Innsbruck, which is another mountain and town, very famous, and should be a lot of fun. But well, that's it for me, guys. They don't always turn out so great, but that's okay. It's fun nonetheless. And Al South, have a great night, my friend. Everybody else, I'll look for you on the TCast. Take care. God bless.